ranking member on Parliament Health Committee, Minta Akando, wants ambulance personnel whose actions allegedly led to the death of the mother of a newborn, Augustina Awotwe, interdicted. Doctors at the Holy Child Catholic Hospital in Fijai in the Western region had referred Augustina to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital after she developed complications following a cesarean section. However, her husband, John Obriyeboa, said her journey to the hospital didn't materialize because the ambulance driver transporting his wife was delayed because he couldn't afford the 600 Ghana cedis demanded for the purchase of fuel. Let's take a listen to her husband's story.
Then they will do the surgery on Tuesday. Fine. I prepared everything. We went on Monday, provided everything, and the surgery carried on that particular Tuesday. Meanwhile, she had already called a sister, Doris, to come down to assist. So that is, I left the place. I came home. I was there around 3:30 that way that I got a call from the sister that the people were saying that my wife's condition was critical. Hence, she was being taken to Kolebu. Now, a few weeks later, I also had a call from the national ambulance. It was an unknown number. When the call came, I replied, I said, okay, they have almost reached Impensing. They were coming, so that I should meet them. I should meet them at Sama Junction. So I joined the van. On the way we reached to Asokwe Saman. It was there that man behind me, that man who was sitting behind me, not the driver. The driver was Adade. So I will mention him. The driver was Adade, according to they say. Then I might ask, there wasn't any fuel in the van. So I should give them 600. So when you call, what is in the diagnosis? So I'm a teacher. A senior teacher who has taught for 21 years. You will let carry one. If since it's you carry one, when I get to a car, I'm a stormy car, like I'll be able to mobilize something simple. The man said no. So that confrontation went on for some time. There were some women who were there. I even left from the car, the front. Go down there. They took 50 CDs without idea of buying fuel. I thought they would buy the fuel. Then the journey continued. They bought the fuel. I didn't know. Maybe whether there was any communication. I was just a free-born citizen on that day. They thought I was dead. I didn't show my dignity as a senior man. So they bought the fuel. They said, okay, we are driving back to Fijai Hospital. Madam, we were driving back to Fijai Hospital. So they drove back to Fijai Hospital, where my wife's surgery was done. There was a bone of contention between the hospital. Meanwhile, my wife was in the ambulance. My wife was in the ambulance. Yeah, it was after 5 against 6. Remember, when they came to me, when I asked me to meet them at that place, it was almost 4 o'clock. So we stood at Asoku Esaman for some time, came back to Fijai Hospital, where their body was laid down there.
Now, Dr. Teria Siame is the coordinator of the ambulance service in the Western region, and he joins us on phone. Good evening to you, Dr. Siame. The family is blaming your outfit for the death of the new mother. What's your reaction?
Oh, it's just unfortunate that this happened, because it shouldn't have happened in the first place. Because first, the regional hospital, referral hospital, is just some few, maybe about 35 minutes drive from the Holy Child Hospital Fijai to Kwanta. And so, and the hospital has a consultant obstetrician gynecologist. It has gynecologists and obstetricians. I mean, I know them. I work with them. I'm the head of the Department of Surgery at Kwanta. And so this patient should have simply been sent there, and then would have taken good care of this patient. But we have the human resource and then the facilities there. But they decide that this patient, in a very difficult situation, is sent to Kolebu, and that is just unfortunate. I don't know why. Because you can imagine the ramps, and then you can imagine the traffic, and you can imagine the distance. But I think the issue is this. It's very simple. When we were called, we told them that we didn't have enough fuel because this is a hospital-to-hospital transfer where, I mean, can you imagine? You can be called from secondary to go to maybe the north. Our main mandate, actually, is to attend to emergencies and accident scene. And then we sort them out, resuscitate them, and then take them to the hospitals nearby. If you have to go long distances, most of the time, it puts a lot of stress on our fuel situation because we don't have unlimited fuel.
All right, Dr. Siame, you say that they needn't have sent the patient to Korle Bu. So whose decision was it to bring the patient to Korle Bu?
Yeah, the doctor at the Holy Child Hospital at Sugai.
Was he not aware of these other facilities in the area?
It's aware because we have a national referral policy and guideline. It has stated clearly, and every doctor should know what to do in such a situation. You know, this was an elective cesarean section. This was not an emergency. It's a planned surgery. So when there is a problem, I mean, the earliest place is the regional referral hospital. When we have everything, I went there. You know, and so this would have, you know, we would have avoided all this.
All right.
But I can tell you that when they called, we made the hospital aware that we don't have enough fuel. And they were like, oh, why not? We can support. So you come in, and then we can arrange. So we went there, and we picked the woman. So whilst we were on the way, we picked the husband. While we were on the way, the husband, they told us that the man would give us the money. But unfortunately, he didn't have much, so he said he had 50. So we took the 50, but the fuel. When we were on the way, we were called again by the doctor from the hospital that we need to come back and pick the day-old baby. But the surgery has been done, and the baby was doing well.
Dr. Siame, you just confirmed that you actually took money from the patient, the husband of the patient who's now deceased. Is that regular practice?
Well, we have discussed with the hospital. They have agreed earlier that they will make provisions for the money, and that they will provide the husband will provide the money. We have had situations like that where we are very low on fuel, and there's work to be done. There's life to be saved. So we always find a way of discussing with the relatives if there's a way they can support us. Because there have been situations where they could not, and then we have to find our own way to find some money and get them there, you know, where we have to send them. So,
but Dr. Siame, you'd appreciate that this, you know, creates an avenue for extortion because some drivers may actually take money when really there's no need for those monies to take.
So to prevent this,
it's a practice that shouldn't be encouraged.
To prevent this, we ensure that the money is used to fuel the ambulance. I mean, we don't take the money and then keep it. We make sure that we fuel the ambulance.
Well, there's a call now.
This is not a normal practice. This is when it's a rare situation where we are in dire need of fuel and we must save life.
Yeah, there's a call now.
Anywhere in the world, when you are confronted with a situation like this, you have to find a way out to save life.
And that way out is taking money from the patient.
Discuss with the facility, the hospital facility.
All right.
And then the hospital will say, okay, we think that we really can support. Because the hospital has that ability to support us.
There's a call now. Dr. Siame, there's a call now for a parliamentary probe. Are you ready to face the committee?
Oh, why not? We are very ready for it. Because I can tell you that the delay that he's talking about was a result of the fact that we were called to go back and pick the baby.
With the benefit of hindsight, Dr. Siame, with the benefit of hindsight, how differently would you have approached this situation?
With the benefit of hindsight?
Yes. How differently would you have approached this situation?
Oh, it's very simple. We should have sent this patient to Ifeanyi Kwanta, where they have the human resource and then the facilities to take care of this patient. I mean, it's as simple as that. I work there. I work at the Department of Surgery, and I'm the head of the Department of Surgery there.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Siame. He is the coordinator of the ambulance service in the Western region. Well, after hearing his story, minority members on Parliament Health Committee want the ambulance personnel interdicted pending investigations. They also want the health sector to correct such anomalies. Minta Akando is ranking member. All right, thankfully, Mr. Minta Akando joins us on the line. Good evening to you. Well, what did you pick up from your initial inquiries at the Holy Child Catholic Hospital?
Who am I speaking to, please? Is that Israel?
Israel, yes.
Okay, Israel, this is a very serious matter, and I think that we need to get to the bottom of this matter to prevent the reoccurrence of such situations. We picked this news in the system, so I did a few background checks. I spoke to the bereaved husband. I realized that it was not an issue of phone conversation. So myself and some members of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health decided to journey to Samar Junction. So today we got to Samar Junction. We met the bereaved husband and the family. We listened to their side of the story. After listening to them, we found that it was necessary to go to Holy Child Hospital to also listen to their side of the story. Now, our aim for embarking on this particular journey is to make sure that we probe this matter to its logical conclusion so that we will prevent the reoccurrence of this issue. Now, there are contradictions in the narration, and at this stage, because we are going to raise it in Parliament for the probe, I will not be judgmental, but I will only raise questions. Number one, there's no doubt about the fact that the ambulance services demanded 600 Ghana cedis from the husband of the deceased.
Yes,
now,
that has been confirmed by the coordinator of the ambulance service.
Yes, let us not accept the abnormally as normal. It is not normal to demand money from somebody in a critical condition. It is not normal. So let us not pretend as though, oh, it's normal, it's fine, there's rate. And so those bills are supposed to be borne by the state. So it is not normal, number one. Number two, why should an ambulance move to an emergency services without fuel in the ambulance? You should always have fuel in the ambulance. Number three.
Okay, so as far as that is concerned, the ambulance service is explaining that they had fuel, they didn't have enough fuel to go to Accra, to come to Accra.
But why didn't they have enough fuel? And the reason they give is that because of the festive season, isn't it? With the greatest deal of respect, does it make sense? An ambulance service should be delivering service 7 days a week and 24 hours in a day. So they should have a mechanism of assessing fuel at every point in time. There shouldn't be any excuse at all. In fact, they should be on red alert during these festivities or this festive season. That is even when they should demand more coupons for more fuel. Even if they run out of coupons, there should be a system. They shouldn't have the luxury of going on holidays as people working in the ambulance services. That cannot be accepted to be normal. Okay? Number three, they claim that, okay, they went back to the hospital where they did the referral because the hospital requested them to come for the day-old baby.
Yes.
Look, we had the opportunity to speak to the facilities, and they denied this flatly. They denied it. In any case, if you are returning to go and take the day-old child, why didn't you inform the husband on board? You didn't need to know what they were going back, because when we spoke to the husband, he didn't know why they were returning back. They were returning to the facility where they had been referred. Okay? And in the long run, what did they take on board? They didn't take the day-old child, but they went for money. So how will I be convinced that indeed it is not because of money you went back, but rather the day-old baby? So there are a lot of questions, and I agree that there are further questions we need to ask. Why is it that the patient was not referred to Ifia Kwanta Hospital or Cape Coast Teaching Hospital? I mean, why? What kind of care was given to the patient in the ambulance? So all these things, and we must, but you see, Israel, let us not pretend. I mean, this has become an issue because of the fueling system of our ambulances. And this is not the first time we are hearing this. We are only pretending that it is normal. We've heard this on Joy FM. I mean, other media houses have done documentary on them. And we have come to accept that it is normal, so let's take it like that, which is highly unacceptable. So for me, we need to have a probe, and all the relevant questions must be asked. Why? Where? What is the source of funding for the ambulance service? Do we have reliable source of funding for our ambulance services? Do we?
All right.
Where is the money coming from? If it is a health insurance, are they paid on time? Have they given the... So it's a thorough thing we must do as a country so that we prevent this avoidable, death.
All right. So as you prepare to ask these questions that you talk of in Parliament, you're saying that you want the staff who are connected to this be interdicted.
Because you see, Israel, it's annoying that this has happened, and then, especially when the ambulance service is defending itself, and no action, we've not heard the minister responsible for health say anything. So a preliminary action must be taken.
All right.
An interdiction sort of, so that after the investigation, if they are exonerated, they can resume duties.
All right.
Would there be anything wrong with it?
All right. All right. Thank you very much, Kwamna Minta Akando, who is with the Health Committee in Parliament.